All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another baseball video. It is June 7th. We're still on the road, but I have 5 MLB plays coming your way. I have a money line play, then 2 player props, and then 2 Nerfies. So 5 plays coming your way in today's video. In terms of yesterday, 1 play away from the sweep. We go 4-1. Even though we lost one of the bases props, I said yesterday to keep that king of the bases crown, I think we got to go 2 for 3. Cal Rayleigh and Dylan Moore both come through for us. Tyler O'Neill late in the game ends up getting a second hit, which is an absolute bummer, preventing the 5-0 sweep. But I'll take it. We go, what was it? 4-1 2 nights ago, 5-1 last night. I think in our last 27 plays, we are sitting at a 20-7 clip here. So we'll take that, right? Kind of on fire in the MLB right now. But again, we stumble into wins over here. Feel free to fade me. But like I said, guys, we got 5 plays coming your way in today's video. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for any added plays or anything like that. When we are on vacation, and I'm sorry if this is like beating a dead horse to people that watch every day, but when we are on vacation, we kind of switch up the video format a little bit, but I might add some things in throughout the day. So just keep an eye on the pinned comment. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. Hopefully the video and the audio are all right. But let's jump into play number 1 here. Again, we got 1 money line play, 2 player props, and then 2 no-run first innings. Only one of these player props is a bases prop, so you know what? We're not going king of the bases today, but if we do hit it, it just extends the streak, right? But play number 1 is going to be, I guess, the most simple. I'm liking the Twins on the money line here. Now, they're going up against a Pirates team that has been looking really, really good, right? They take 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. Even the game that they lost, they scored 7 runs in. The Dodgers just happened to score 11, right? So it's like Pittsburgh's playing some good baseball. But today on the mound, you have Joe Ryan, who's had himself a good year so far. He's had a couple blow-up starts in his last 5, but overall still pitching really, really well. He's going up against Mitch Keller. So Joe Ryan on the season here, 3.38 ERA, 1.01 whip with a FIP of 3.4, an expected FIP of 3.15, and a batting average against of 227. Going up against the Pittsburgh offense, and again, I got to give credit to the Pittsburgh offense for the last couple of games, but still, in the last 30 days against right-handed pitchers, they're bottom 10 to even bottom 5 in some key offensive categories like average, WRC plus, they're 26th in, on base percentage 27th. So I'm not ready to jump on this Pirates offensive bandwagon after 2 good games. Mitch Keller's been pitching really, really well, but this seems like it could be a perfect spot to, sense some regression in a sense. I could be looking at this tomorrow being like, what a bad pick. This pitcher's been pitching well. This offense been looking good. Why fade them, right? So we shall see, but I do think you have some value with what I would deem a better pitcher on the mound, and quite honestly, a decent, offense here. Now, Minnesota's coming off of being swept by the Yankees. I'm almost using that as a positive, as stupid or as crazy as that may sound. I view that as like they should have some fire under their ass. They hadn't been swept in like 3 or a while, so I like the spot here for Minnesota. Give me them on the money line. They also have the better bullpen. Both bullpens, similar amount of guys went yesterday, but what I will say the day before, Pittsburgh used a lot of their arms. So Minnesota already has a better bullpen, and in this case, they should have an even more rested and less taxed bullpen as well. So play number 1. Twins money line here. Now, player prop number 1 here in pick number 2, we have Patrick Wisdom under 1.5 strikeouts as a batter. FYI, he's on the Chicago Cubs, going up against the Cincinnati Reds today. He's hit the under here in 85% of games on the season. Last 10, he's only struck out more than once in his run here, and he's struck out twice in his last total, right? Twice in his last 7 games. What I like here is he's going up against a left-handed pitcher. His K percentage drops slightly, but what I really like is the fact that his average on the year is 230. Not great, right? But against a left-handed pitcher, jumps to 294. So he's obviously way, way, way more comfortable here against a left-handed pitcher. Nick Lodolo on the mound today. Decent when it comes to K rate, right? 26.1% of the season. Against righties, it's at 26. He's going to throw a lot of fastballs, which Wisdom is kind of, just middle of the road in. But his next 2 pitches are curveball and changeup, which are 2 really good pitches. Wisdom's yet to strike out against a curveball so far this season, and he has a 16.7 K rate. Again, his K rate is normally right around 25, so it drops almost 10 points against the changeup. So I think this could be a decent matchup for him here. And also just in general, like looking at the Cubs overall, right? When looking at them strikeout wise, like they've been striking out plenty on the season, or at least in the last 30 days. 25th when it comes to K rates, only 6 teams or 5 teams worse than them. But when they face a left-handed pitcher, it's actually redeeming quality. They're almost a top 10. I'm only a couple percentage points out of it. They're ranked 11th in the last 30. So I don't know if Lodolo gets into like a strikeout rhythm either, which would help this case because we have a guy that he can strike out once, right? We just can't have him go strike out twice. So Patrick Wisdom under 1.5 strikeouts, so less than 2 strikeouts here in this spot. Now we get into our only bases prop of the day, and it's one that cashed for us yesterday. We're running right back to it. We have Cal Raleigh under 1.5 bases. Raleigh, whatever you want to call him, right? Just don't go and get 2 bases for us. It's kind of an interesting spot because we took him against JP Sears yesterday. Didn't love that. Now we have Daniel Lynch on the mound for the Royals, who only has a couple starts this year, if I'm not mistaken. He's looked good in them, but I'm focusing on more on the fact that at the end of the day, he is a lefty, and regardless if this guy's going to go out there and pitch well or he's inexperienced or yada yada yada, he's not going to change which arm he's throwing from. And Cal Raleigh here, 149 average against lefties. His batting average with balls in play at .074. So it's really a spot in which I'm targeting Raleigh here against a lefty again. So yes, obviously we're kind of going up against an not really unexperienced. He's been in the league for a while, but he only has he's a bullpen arm, starts here and there, that type of thing. So I shouldn't even call him like some young kid unexperienced. But overall, he's going to throw a lot of fastballs. That's his main pitch here. Cal Raleigh's WOBA drops from, on the season, 300 flat to 257 against fastballs. We like to see that. He goes to the changeup next 20% of the time, so 44 fastball percent-wise, 20% is changeup, so nearly 65% of his pitches are fastball or changeup. Both are not great pitches for Cal Raleigh. Yesterday we talked about it, slider, sinker, those pitches, right? That's going to be his fourth and fifth pitch, or third and fourth pitch. Those are the pitches that he hits well, but let's just hope that he doesn't need to go to his bag that deeply. I'm talking about Daniel Lynch on the side of the Royals here. So Cal Raleigh here under 1.5 bases. Now we get into our 2 Nerfies, and they could be a little sweaty. I mean, Nerfies are always sweaty. Cashed them both yesterday. We had some hate in the comments being like, why would you take those picks? And I was like, well, did you? I mean, I explained it in the video, right? But nonetheless, let's keep the train rolling. I feel like we're on a good, fast flow here. Play number 4 is going to be Braves, Nats, Nerfy here. You get that -130 over on FD. So on the mound for the Braves is going to be Chris Sale. On the season when he's pitched, a lot of overs have been cashing, I'll admit that. But his last 2 road starts, they were able to go out there and cash the Nerfy. So his track record doesn't look all that stupendous, right? But then you filter to this season with Jake Irvin on the mound for the Nationals. So far this season, 71% of his games have hit the Nerfy. The Nationals 74%, right? But him at home and his Nerfy has looked really, really good, just under 70%. So I like the spot for the pitcher who I believe, so the Braves in my mind have the better offense, even though you can obviously make the argument that this Washington team has, stepped up and looked good and all that, but the Braves have the better offense in my opinion. And I think Jake Irvin's Nerfy performance has been pretty damn good, right? So all of a sudden that's where that cancel comes out. And then Chris Sale, who has had some struggles with Nerfies in first innings, but he's going up against a Washington offense does not bat lefties all that well. So I think this is a good spot for at least 6 outs to come through with no runs coming in this spot here. So again, you have a pitcher in Jake Irvin to kind of summarize that I really do trust in the first inning, and hopefully that he can negate what a good offense the Braves are bringing to the table. But then on the flip side, it's like, well, the Nationals don't have a good offense to begin with. That kind of cancels out the fact that Chris Sale has struggled to some degree with Nerfies this year. But like I said, his last 2 road starts cashed the Nerfy. All right. Next Nerfy that we're looking at. In fact, guys, if you made it this point in the video, go ahead and comment 9. I'm talking a mile a minute, I can tell, but you know what? MLB has been firing me up lately. We had a positive NBA last night. We go 2-1, but MLB has been firing me up somehow, some way. Like I said, we're stumbling into these wins. 4-1 night here, 3-1 night there. We had a couple rough nights, and that's when all the guppies come out of the woodwork and start talking. And then we followed up with a 5-1 night. It's like a 20-7 run, and we've done this a couple times throughout the season now. Is crazy to me. And I know Tasso, shout out to him, has been on fire with the player props on the channel as well. But yeah, comment 9 if you made it this far into the video. Let's get into the last play. We're looking at the Sox Nerfy. And I say the Sox Nerfy because the Red Sox and the White Sox are playing each other. and it was a lot of text to say 2 different colors for socks. And you know what? I like to match my socks, so I just had the socks nerfy here. What I like about this one is Garrett Crochet on the mound. I'm a big Garrett Crochet believer. I think the kid's pitching really, really well, and I was not gonna lie, kind of shocked when I look at this. 85% of his starts so far this season catch the nerfy, which is okay, that's pretty damn good. Cooper Criswell on the side of the Red Sox, not looking tremendous, but he is 50-50 on the road this year, 2 nerfies. But that's kind of what we just talked about with the Chris Sale to Washington. I see the same thing with Criswell to the White Sox. I don't sit here and get scared of the White Sox offense. So I'd rather the fact that, yes, the Red Sox have a little bit more trustworthy of an offense. Well, the better pitchers on the other side, that should negate that. So I like the spot here. You do have, obviously, a risk when it comes to Cooper Criswell. I mean, he's pitched well, but I still don't know if I fully trust or believe him. But on the other side, Garrett Crochet at home this year, 0.86 whip, a FIP of 1.8, expected FIP of 1.7, batting average against 176. A lot of lefties in this Red Sox lineup today, batting average against there on the season, 195. So I trust him. I need to see if Cooper Criswell can kind of lock it in. But the good news is that regardless, I could pitch against the White Sox and I have a better chance of getting those guys out for 3 outs than a lot of teams in the league, right? Because it's just not the best of offenses. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Again, if you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know we like to go through every single game on the slate normally, but when we're on the road, we kind of make do with what we got. When life gives you lemons, you make a vodka lemonade, right? But guys, that's it for me. We'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.